Good morning. I'm Marilyn Crowther. I lead the U.S. public sector business for Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Business transformation is absolutely an imperative, and it's becoming our new normal. Our landscape is shifting, and you and I are helping to drive this big shift. Literally, as we speak, there are changes across the globe. One of the things that I want to talk with you today is about business transformation and why we believe at Hewlett-Packard Enterprise we're best positioned to help you with your IT transformation. We've incorporated technology so seamlessly into our lives that we often forget that it's there. We're taking digital options from cool trends to the new normal. Let's face it, we're addicted to data. We've grown accustomed to being able to access information from anywhere at any time. What that means is this need is really changing the business transformation initiatives right before our very eyes. Government agencies, much like commercial enterprises, are faced with constant change to include evolving missions, reform, policy reform, emerging threats, and also changing workforce demographics. So as we move to the next slide, what I want to leave you with is the future belongs to the fast, those who will be able to get you there first. Each of us must deliver operational excellence, all the while accelerating on what's next. Some companies, defense contractors, and pure-play IT services companies are considering exiting the federal space, or they're consolidating their positions. At Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, we are committed to the public sector market. We're leveraging our industry expertise, our commercial IT services capabilities, and our global experience. Our new company and name, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, reflects our ability to deliver end-to-end enterprise IT transformation services that help you to solve today's business challenges and to take you from where you are now to where you want to go in the future. In this dynamic environment, collectively, we must change in order to win. You saw these 4 transformation areas in the video, but let me just tell you what they mean to us. It means that most organizations will have to look at these 4 areas in order to really survive and thrive in this new economy. Transform to a hybrid infrastructure. What that means is to be able to support business operations with an open, agile, and secure infrastructure that helps you to deliver reliable and secure services to your constituents. Protecting the digital enterprise. What that really means is understanding the full life cycle of a cyber attack and really delivering secure solutions using a layered approach. And then empowering a data-driven organization. Literally arming your leaders with actionable information that allow you to make better business decisions. And then enabling workforce productivity. Incorporating new computing technologies, new options, new applications that allow our employees to collaborate better and to embrace the mobile experience. Successful IT transformations are really not just about adding technology solutions or new tools. It also requires a partner that can help you bring all these things together. It also requires leadership that fosters a culture of change, that embraces change. At Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, we're focused on being the IT solutions provider of choice, helping you to achieve your mission, policy, and business outcomes. And now I want to shift just a bit to business transformation success stories and invite 2 folks to the stage for me to give us their CIO perspective. I'm going to have Rafael Diaz and join me on the stage. He's a CIO for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And also we'll have Herb Strauss, who is the Assistant Deputy Commissioner for Services and Deputy CIO at the Social Security Administration. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Marilyn.
So I've prepared a few questions for you this morning, and I'd love for you to share some of your perspectives, and we'll start with Raphael. Raphael, I know that you guys have been undergoing a significant transformation initiative, and I wanted to ask you what your top objectives are in your business transformation as it relates to the mission of HUD.
Great question. This is water, by the way. So that's a great question, Marilyn. Thanks very much, and thanks very much for the opportunity to be here on the same stage with you. And it's quite an honor to speak in front of everybody and talk about the things that are going on at HUD. HUD is certainly in a unique position to be the Department of Opportunity. The Secretary Castro is now talking about how we can promote housing and development in communities and access to credit and access to home ownership. HUD is now celebrating 50 years as an agency this year, and the Secretary Castro has talked about how we're now the Department of Opportunity, and so there are many opportunities. As Tony was talking as well, how our aging systems have created quite a bit of challenges. So we're looking at how do we engage those programs, how do we engage those business requirements, those business needs out there in the program areas with technology that can enhance their capabilities. It's quite a challenge given the systems that we have, but there's I want to talk about start with a quote that one of my favorite presidents gave. If you change the slide, President Obama talked about how we can use technology to better everyone's lives. I don't have it right down perfectly, but you can read it there. And that's the challenge, right? Mm-hmm. That's the challenge, is how do we use technology to change people's lives, to change how they're doing their day-to-day. Mm-hmm. And it's not just the folks out in the citizens, but those are certainly the priority, but it's the workforce. We've got such a great workforce here, a dynamic workforce that is looking for opportunities to be enabled, to be empowered, to improve how they do what they do on a daily basis. And so that's how we're looking at the opportunities we have. So if you go to the next slide, what we did was we identified 4 strategic initiatives that looked at, could you go to the next slide? There we go. First, we came up with a vision, connecting customers to home for life. And that vision has many levels to it. It has not just the folks within our citizens, but within HUD and within the Office of the CIO. So there's many levels of how we're making connections. And of course, connections have a technical connotation. So it was actually very exciting that we came up with this vision. And the vision drove these strategic imperatives. How do we ensure that the commodity IT is in place? And fortunately, we've had great partnerships within HUD in the vendor community to be able to address that issue and get it down. The next issue was critical. The next strategic imperative was so important because it was truly transformative. Is how does the Office of the CIO change its focus from technology to business, from getting desktops out to the users to understanding how those users do their business on a daily basis. What is it that they need to do their business? How do they integrate with the other program areas? How do they interface with the public housing authorities and the other third parties that we work with in the country? And so the Office of the CIO needs to know that. It needs to be intimate and embedded with the program offices so that we can help make that transformation. Then the third one was, of course, be responsible, be cost effective, understand how we can reduce the cost of our operation so that we can then transfer those savings to innovative technology solutions, and technology solutions that help the business to be more effective, to be more productive, to be more responsive to the citizens.
Okay. All right. And let me just say that you mentioned a number of the concerns, both from a HUD perspective and from your end user or citizens' perspectives. What are some of the unique innovative opportunities that you're pursuing that will help you also address those concerns?
So I actually wrapped that all up into enterprise IT. No, it's not very sexy, right? It's not very, it may not even be very innovative, but it is innovative in the way we're implementing it, because there are many components to enterprise IT. And the first component is the workforce. Is how does the workforce now understand how we are implementing IT within HUD? And then it's the relationship, it changes, so enterprise IT changes your relationships. One with the program offices, because now the program offices are our partners, not we serve the program offices, and so there's not this contention between, get my system out there and put it in place and don't ask me any more questions, let's just get it done. It's a partnership about how we get this done and how are we implementing these systems more effectively. But then it also changes the relationships within the Office of the CIO, because it allows the Office of the CIO now to be more collaborative and more intuitive about how we're implementing these systems and use the resources that we have within the Office of the CIO. So enterprise IT changes everything, and it implements processes that help HUD be more innovative.
Awesome, awesome. So Herb, if I could turn to you and ask you a couple questions as well. How are you prioritizing the actions you need to take to ensure that your vision for your business transformation is realized?
Always a good question. Good morning, everyone. Good to see so many customers out there in the audience. And as importantly, it's great to see as many industry partners out there in the audience. SSA, it's always tough to be the second act. Tony talked about an inflection point. Perhaps no other agency knows this inflection point as well as SSA in terms of a silver tsunami that is going to raise our customer base by 18 million customers in the next 5 years and 8 million customers out to 2030. So we're peaking in terms of that silver tsunami. The other thing that I take from my predecessor's talk was the notion of aging technology. At our agency, we still give 50-year pins out, and many of those folks are technology folks that hand-built the systems that deliver services to the American public today. We recognize this inflection point for us is both business and technology, and it's not business or technology, it's both. Quite often we modernize and don't transform, and our focus is on transformation. So it's this key of bringing the business closer to technological change, bringing technology closer and in each other's hip pocket in framing change and focusing on a change driven by vision and a supporting strategy that will transform the agency and meet the needs that this inflection point is driving to us.
Great. So let me ask you another question as well. What kind of innovation will your system modernization bring to your mission? So
if you're in the private sector, it's what innovation are you bringing to us on the contract? If you're in government, what innovation are you bringing to the business in the agency? We recognize that there's fundamental change in technology, in the way technology is bought, delivered, the way it's managed, and again, Tony has talked about it, and Raphael's talked about it in his remarks. Focusing for us on introducing new technology faster means that we fundamentally have to change our business. For those of you that are not in the software development business, you can still see it in terms of how agencies are scrambling to introduce new concepts like Agile and DevOps into the enterprise, being able to change the way that we deliver technology faster, smoother, and smarter. The other is that we still have an installed base, 700 applications, large core infrastructure, some of that infrastructure going back 30 years. We need to be able to develop plans and active behaviors to move that technology or modernize that technology and ultimately transform the technologies and the businesses that they serve. It is a tall order. I mean, it involves culture, it involves budget, it involves talent, it involves all of you guys. Not just us as a single independent agency, but also our colleagues in other agencies that also are facing the same challenges. And because we are increasingly interrelated in the operations that we have in terms of information and data exchange, it becomes a core issue for us across the federal government. So these are the things that we think about. It's foundational to our 2025 vision, to how to change the agency, and then the underlying strategies and plans for how we apply budget, resources, and talent to change the agency in some very fundamental ways.
Thank you. So I want to thank Raphael and Herb for joining me here today, and then I want to end with a quote. Change is really a way of life. The quote is, "Change is a law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future." Thank you very much.
Thank you.